That kind of injury, and then any message for Shakur?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm sure he was training hard. I'm sure he was putting in a lot of work before the injury came about. So, my words would just be to stay up, man. Stay focused, stay positive, control the things you can control. And, you may have a hurt hand, but there's still things you can work on. So,
and is this 2-fight plan of Joe Cordina, and if he's triumphant, into the Zepeda fight. And we'll show him during that period our value. We'll work together closely. And then we'll move forward. Gervonta Davis, everybody. I hope this is 2 fights that lead to the rest of Shakur Stevenson's career with Matchroom. It would be an honor.
Gervonta Davis is making headlines once again, but this time it's not for a knockout in the ring. Instead, he's been spotted visiting fellow boxing star Shakur Stevenson at the hospital following an unfortunate injury. Music, it's a scene that surprises fans. Two men often seen as rivals united in an unexpected moment of vulnerability. Shakur Stevenson was slated to defend his WBC lightweight title against Joe Cordina on October 12th in Saudi Arabia. This fight, scheduled to take place on the same night as the much-anticipated BBV Dimitri Bivol showdown, promised to be a spectacle. However, fate had other plans when Stevenson sustained a serious injury to his right hand during training camp. The injury, which has now forced him out of the fight, was severe enough to require surgery, leaving his fans and the entire boxing community in shock. Dealing with that kind of injury. And then any message for your yes, it's unfortunate. I'm sure if he was training hard, I'm sure he was put in a lot of work before the injury came about. So my words would just be to stay up, man. Stay focused, stay positive. Control the things you can control. And you may have a hurt hand, but there's still things you can work on. So as the news broke, Shakur's statement extended his disappointment, saying, "I am definitely disappointed that I won't be able to fight on October 12th. I have been super sharp and feeling great in camp and was planning to put on a show next month against Joe Cordina. The pain of missing out on a huge opportunity in front of a global audience was clearly marked in his words." But Shakur, known for his resilience, also understood the need to prioritize his health. "But I have to listen to the doctor and have these injuries fixed immediately, so that I can come back stronger than ever at the start of 2025. Plan is this 2-fight plan of Joe Cordina, and if he's triumphant into the Zappa fight, and we'll show him during that period our value. And we'll work together closely, and then we'll move forward." Gervonta Davis, everybody, I hope this is 2 fights that lead to the rest of Shakur Stevenson's career with Match. It would be an honor when the injury, which occurred during a training session, is not a minor issue. Stevenson's right hand suffered tears to his sagittal band and collateral ligament, both critical components for any fighter. The surgery performed at the surgical center of the Rockies went smoothly, but the recovery process is what now demands time and patience. Yet as Shakur faces a long road to recovery, the most surprising twist in this story is the appearance of Gervonta Davis, a man whose history with Stevenson has been marked more by tension and competition than close friendship. Davis visiting Stevenson at the hospital raised more than a few eyebrows. It's a moment of humanity that no one expected, especially considering their rivalry in the ring. Boxing me and Tank, the fight, it's the biggest fight in the world. It's going to be the biggest boxing fight in the world. When it happens, just weeks ago, it wasn't uncommon to hear whispers about a potential showdown between these two. Boxing fans have long salivated over the idea of Davis and Stevenson squaring off, both fighters at the top of their game. Each man represents a different style of boxing. Stevenson, a tactical genius, and Davis, a power puncher with explosive speed. A fight between them would be the stuff of legends, and perhaps that's why the sight of Dant showing up for Stevenson in his time of need feels so significant. He the best at he didn't even fight at 135, yet right, he didn't. He had power at 126.30 or none of that. He is good. Okay, for now, though their rivalry is set aside, Davis, who's been no stranger to controversy, seems to be extending an olive branch. But why now? Could it be that even in a brutal sport like boxing, there's an unspoken bond between fighters, especially when one of them is down? Or perhaps Davis, knowing the pain of injury and the toll it takes on a fighter, felt compelled to support someone who on any other day could be his future opponent. Fans are left speculating, but but the gesture speaks for itself. Vaughn isn't there for the cameras or the headlines, at least not this time. He's there as someone who knows what it feels like to face adversity. Then Javin Tank Davis, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of talking about it. Stop ducking me and let's make the fight happen, man. Come on. In the meantime, Shakur's career takes a brief pause while the injury sidelines him from the October 12th fight. He's already setting his sights on what comes next with a mandatory defense against Williams, of now hanging around for early 2025 provided Zappa wins his bout against T. Farmer on November 16th. Stevenson's return to the ring is already being anticipated with a new level of intensity. If anything, this break gives Shakur time to heal and come back even sharper, a reality he's keen on embracing. I'll be back stronger than ever, he promises, knowing full well that the best chapters of his career are still ahead. Come on, let's fight, Pitbull. Let's fight. Zappa just stopped somebody. His last fight he beat the hell out of some dude. It's for Joe Cortina. He now faces uncertainty. His fight against Stevenson was a massive opportunity, one that could have been a career-defining moment. With Shakur out, Cortina's team is struggling to find a new opponent in time for the October 12th card. Applause, Charlie, but apparently it now seems that Shakur was not only struggling with physical injuries. It's just days ago that Teofimo revealed that Shakur has been suicidal, even claiming that Shakur has attempted. Teofimo Lopez is never one to hold back his opinions, and when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, his comments are as direct as ever. In a world where fighters are constantly sizing each other up for potential matchups, Teofimo has made it clear that he's not interested in a fight with Stevenson, and his reasons go far beyond the typical business of boxing. Yeah, and I say what I say off my chest. Can't nobody really like you know, so when it comes to it, if it ever comes around, he's still a 35. But now, you know what it is. I just didn't want to now that I tell you the backstory behind it for Lopez. There's something personal at play. Lopez recently opened up about a deeply troubling memory involving Stevenson, one that shook him to the core and still influences his perspective on a potential bout with the lightweight star. Shakur's rise in boxing has been undeniable, but Lopez seems haunted by a dark episode from 2015 when Stevenson, then a young amateur boxer, suffered a painful loss in the National Golden Gloves tournament in Las Vegas. The loss to Ruben Villo was devastating for Shakur, and according to Lopez, it brought him to the brink of suicide. Same year, me and Jaron in his boots won, and Shakur, man, he lost it, man, he lost the Ruma, and then he wanted to go up to one of the, wanted to the top, to the rooftop of the hotel. And he wanted to jump off. Yeah, I ain't trying to have actual blood on my hands. In Lopez's own words, I ain't trying to get that man his first loss. I'll let somebody else take that. I've seen Shakur lose in the amateurs. This one time in Vegas National Golden Gloves 2015, Shakur lost to Ruben Villa. And then he wanted to go to the hotel's rooftop and jump off. I ain't trying to have actual blood on my hands. The gravity of Lopez's statement can't be overstated. For him, it's not just about winning or losing in the ring, it's about the psychological toll a fight might take on Stevenson. And while some might interpret this as an act of compassion, it also reveals Lopez's concerns about Stevenson's emotional resilience, a weakness that he believes could be exploited, but one that he's unwilling to be responsible for. Shakur is a very talented, skillful technique fighter. Yeah, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit and scared to again. While Stevenson is known for his slick boxing style, technical brilliance, and unblemished professional record, his career has been marked by moments of vulnerability. Perhaps the most public example of this came during the 2016 Olympics when Stevenson lost in the final to Cuban boxer Robes Ramirez. The loss left Shakur in tears, a moment that was broadcast around the world. For a fighter, showing such raw emotion can be both a strength and a perceived weakness, and it's clear that Lopez remembers these moments vividly, like the Olympic _ him tearing up and stuff that ain't nothing like it's been bad. He was on the R for real, or you playing around? He was, yeah, and that mental health is a serious thing. So yeah, Lopez's remarks suggest that Stevenson's emotional struggles, whether in the amateurs or after a tough professional fight, have been always there in the back of his mind. And while Shakur has undoubtedly grown since his amateur days, Lopez seems to believe that the emotional scars of those early losses still affect him. It's this belief that drives Lopez's hesitation To face him in the ring for Teofimo fighting isn't just about the physical battle, it's about the mental game, and he's not sure Stevenson has what it takes to handle that kind of pressure at the elite level, like pushing it. But and it's just myself, nobody could beat me, nobody. It's been shown, it's been proven. At 140, I'm the only one still remaining retaining my titles, and at the same time, still the king of the division, lineal world champion at 140, so everybody else they've been just, what's next. In addition to this personal dynamic, there's a professional element to Lopez's reluctance, as well as Shakur Stevenson's style of boxing has been a point of contention for many in the sport, known for his defense and slick